Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Shawnta Jackson here. My purpose in life is to help people to help others and themselves. And welcome to today's live show. We are streaming live on both Facebook and YouTube. And today we have a special guest. We have a special conversation with Grammy Award winner. He's a writer, producer, actor, business owner, advocate. And I'm proud to bring back Anthony Hamilton. This is actually our second conversation together. He was on in November. And so make sure you enter your comments and your questions in the chat box. I already see GB. He's watching on YouTube. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also share this video. And at this time, I'll bring on my special guest, Anthony Hamilton.
Hello.
Hey there. Welcome. I'm good. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to sing, right?
You want to sing?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, when you said welcome back, I was thinking about let's get back together.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last time you were on, it was November. It was I believe it was like the day after the presidential election. And at that time, your single that you had out was Let's Get Back Together featuring Rick James. But now, present day, your new single out is Mercy featuring Tamika D. Mallory.
Yes.
And how is that doing? And how is it performing or producing for you?
Well, I think this one, without even going to radio for this one, it's well over 1 million streams, and it's done well. It's done well without even having a full machine behind it, because of the recent events and stuff. But it's doing well. I think people are starting to slowly gravitate toward this song. It's powerful, and it's been meaning a lot. So I think it'll be one of those ones that before you know it, it'll be like, wow, this could be a new version of a Charlene in a whole different way. Just what it means to people, especially to men as well as women.
Yes, especially when it's your time and when you get to play this and when you get to perform this live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when it's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, because even just Black man, I see you, and have a little mercy.
You better go on and sing it, then.
Right. Yeah. So, what was going on at the time when you were writing the song?
Well, they were working. There was a movie that Jamie Foxx was in, and it just brought some emotions out, and I think it was called Just Mercy. And then, seeing that movie, and then when everything started to happen, like history started to repeat itself, this song just started to, I don't know, it was festering up in me, and, it made itself, it manifested itself through emotions and through just the spirit speaking. It had to be born, and I had to speak about how it feels to be a man who feels like he's attacked, a man who feels like he has no days off, whether it be protecting his family, himself, his rights. It just feels like he has no days off, and when he does take a minute to bow his head for rest or just to pray, everyone's like, "Get up! How dare you have this weak moment?" But it's not a weak moment. It's just a time for a man to recharge and for people to take the time to invest in his efforts. And this song is for the men who feel that way, and for the women who support that. I know that was a long answer, but that was just from a place.
No, that's what we want. That's what we want. So I'm going to take the time, and before we continue to check in with a few guests, we have Christy McGee, and she's checking in from Monroe, Louisiana.
All right.
We have Walter. He's checking in from Madison, Wisconsin. Jocelyn Wallace, where are you checking in from? And we have Tennille Shorter. She's watching in from Dallas, Texas, and we have
Oh, wow.
Kristen Woodruff. She's checking in from Las Vegas, and she says this is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And we have City Don. I believe you are in East Africa. Am I correct? Let's see who else we have checking in.
From
We have
Kenya.
Kenya. Okay, Kenya.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. We just making up. Okay.
I mean, I know that's the East.
Okay. Yeah.
Brian Sims.
Ghana. Yeah. Brian.
Good morning and good afternoon from Las Vegas. I hope you ain't out there gambling, girl.
Do you play poker? You still play poker?
Me? I'll watch it, but I like roulette. I'm not really good, but I feel like I will my way into a few bucks here and there. But my brothers and sisters, they like to play spades and poker and all that stuff. My grandmother told me that it was the devil's work to gamble. So I just kind of always stayed away from it. But I did other devilish stuff, so I might as well start playing cards, huh?
You're silly. I'm a blackjack girl. I like to play blackjacks. We have let's see. So Jocelyn, she says she's checking in from Minneapolis, and we have Dana checking in from Maryland. Let's see. We got Mary. She's in Charlotte. Marianne.
I know Marianne. We grew up together, actually. Yeah. Hey Mary. Yeah. Say hello to your son.
Let's see. We have Kevin Lane coming. Where I'm from.
What up, though? What up, Kev?
Yeah, y'all. We got Jimmy checking in from Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, ain't nobody worried about no COVID-19. Oh yeah.
And this is my mother, Belinda. She says good morning.
And wow.
Mercy.
Hello, Miss Belinda.
Yep. And Charlene is one of her favorite songs. And Sister Big Bone.
Sister Big Bone, can a brother walk you home? Look like a plate of neck bones. What your mom know? What you know about that, Miss Norwood?
Right. And we got Kyle checking in. Kyle is checking in from Las Vegas. And we got Laura from Chicago. Hey, Miss Laura.
Hey, Miss Laura.
Company. Yeah. So it looks like you're in a hotel room right now. So I'm assuming you're not in Charlotte.
Yeah, I am in a hotel. The ugly door. I was trying to get it out of my shop because I hate it. The hinge on the door. Let me see if I can do better here. I'm used to my setup at home.
So what's happening? What's going on with you now?
Well, I got called actually. What's today? Friday?
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Okay. So I got called Thursday for a job. It's a top secret. I can't tell anyone, but you're gonna be blown away. And I got called Thursday evening, and to fly out, and to be, well, not to fly out, to be a part of this special event. And so I had to, shut some things down and be out here and be present for this amazing. Y'all gonna be so shocked. I wish I could say something, but I can't. And I can't. But it's gonna be special. When you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, that's what it was.
Well, I'm happy for you because I can see the excitement. But what's not top secret is your upcoming album. So the last time you were on, you were working on the album. Mm-hmm. And so 2 albums. There's your personal album, and then there's another album with Jermaine Dupri. And on your personal album, you were singing, I believe, Stephanie Mills. You had a song with Stephanie Mills, and at the time, you were communicating with Erykah Badu. Did you end up doing something with her?
Well, no, I didn't really get a chance to get to Erykah, but it's still not too late. I think I just hear her voice on that, and with having her and Stephanie Mills, it would just be legendary. So I'll reach out to her. With the pandemic going on and all the racial stuff that was happening at the time, we all just kind of deviated from what we were doing for a minute, just to take a break from it all. But I'm back. I'm ready, and I'm excited.
No, you've been everywhere. You stay active, and actually, that's you're setting an example for other artists and other entertainers, influencers, public figures, just in
Thank you.
general. And I appreciate the fact that you are not too big to engage with the people and on certain platforms. I see you on platforms where there's a multi-million viewers and audiences, and there's a multi-million dollar production. But then I also see you, you participate on IG lives, individual podcasts. You're on the show with me today. So why do you choose to do that? Like, what's your rationale for that?
I believe everyone is important. I believe everyone has something to say, and I believe everyone has the ability to make a difference in someone's lives. So for you to have a platform to speak about the different things and issues and allow people to have a voice on your platform, it carries even further. And we all benefit from it. And I think the information traveling is very important. And I think to be able to allow that, if I'm like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, and we have Sparkle Cola who need the same shot as a Pepsi or Coca-Cola, I think it's my duty to open up a window and showcase that. And so if I could be an influencer, why not influence someone else's brand or be a part of it? Because it's beautiful. And I think even, people put themselves on pedestals. I really don't have time for it. I'm not really interested. So I feel like every event, every show I do, I give my all. And I'm not above, whether it's five viewers or 5 million. I think it all matters, and I appreciate it. So I'm never too, you're never too good to be a part of something that's beautiful. So here I am.
Okay. And I recently watched Willie Moore Jr.'s documentary on his personal journey of finding his adopted family and meeting his adopted mother.
Yeah.
And after that, and I really wasn't expecting, I didn't know that after you were going to host the Q&A session.
Mm,
And so you too were adopted, but
yeah.
but unlike Willie Moore Jr., you grew up knowing and loving and having a relationship with your biological mother.
Yes. Yes.
And did that, watching, engaging with him and watching him, did that bring up any like recent memories for you?
I think, yeah, it brought up memories and things that were good and some that were challenging. I think it makes you revisit um, the time when you felt like life was being shattered or your security was being shaken, um, and it makes you feel grateful to have made it out and to see um, everyone's life turn around, and for people to find love. And even for my mom, when she was going through life, and my dad was going through whatever he was going through. I had to now, as an adult, I have to look back and be like, wow, I'm an adult now, and I know life can be challenging. It can get hard, and if you don't have an outlet like music or something that you really really love, it's even harder. And if you don't have people who understand where you are at that moment, and only people that fuel into where your not so beautiful moment and place, then you can't make it out happily, and you lose things like family members and jobs and certain things like that. So I'm grateful for it, and to see him find his biological family, I know that's a connection that's always like a little hole. So for him to start to fill his place back up, it means a lot to see that, because it's going to influence someone else to not be bitter and to just open up to that, and not worry about how and why so much as to, okay, now we can. I think starting from where you are and making that beautiful is always healthier. So
Okay.
I encourage that.
All right. Thanks for that. And the last time we talked, we also talked about relationships and love and trust. And I actually, next week, I have a part 2 discussion. The topic is love and relationships. And it's a panel discussion. And it's a married couple from Tennessee. My cousin, a single woman, single and divorced,
Mm,
more than once. She lives in Las Vegas, and then a single guy, never married, and he's in the Bay Area in California. And they were talking, and you know what? They were really transparent, and they were talking about trust issues that they had. And when you and I spoke, you also spoke about having trust issues. Has anything changed? Yeah, you said sometimes. Well, you want me to remind you what you said?
no, I remember.
Okay. So go ahead.
I was present. You know, a lot of times it's trusting yourself. You know, trusting yourself to let go. I think, like I said, that once you get close enough to something, you feel the fear starts to set in. Like, oh, I'm letting people in too close. Is this the right thing to do? Should I trust them? Because I've had things stripped from me, and your heart is broken, and you never forget, those pains. You can outgrow them, and to where it doesn't hurt as much. But yeah, it starts to affect your relationship and the way you respond to relationships. And sometimes it's not a healthy way, and you find yourself in the beginning of a lot of potential relationships, but for some reason you either sabotage them knowingly, or sometimes we don't know. We have these self mechanisms that we survive and go through life as a survival kit, and you become a mess and not even knowing it. You could be a nice person, but just in a relationship, you just don't function quite as healthy as you should. And those are the things that you have to be aware of. And until you become aware of it, you can't begin to fix it. So awareness is, paying attention to self and not getting caught up in the moment. You have to think things are happening in relationships. Is it my fault again, or is it something that I didn't notice the last relationship that I'm still doing? You have to, if things are not working out, and if things are working good, you have to assess that too, because those are the things that you want to take with you, and leave the ugly bag back in the old house. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think what you said about self,
Yeah.
self-awareness, and just, kind of acknowledging some things about yourself. And I also told you that I too have trust issues. And sometimes it's trusting, I don't know. I don't know if it's me not trusting myself or me not trusting the other person. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. But for me, it's just disappointment. Like, I mean, I've hurt people, and but I've been hurt. I think I've probably, so when I'm thinking about reciprocity, and I'm usually, when my feelings are involved, I'm usually the individual that gives more. And I often receive less, whether it's time, emotion, commitment. And so, and because of that, when I do meet someone who's genuinely good, a genuinely good guy, it's just like the time, to, I guess, kind of let that barrier down. And I guess the anxiety behind, what if this happens, or then I have to let him know this, and then what if it doesn't work out? Am I being foolish? So maybe it's just best for me to stay with my, to myself. I want to be in a relationship. I want a life partner. I want to be in love, and I want to be in love over and over again with that person. I understand that, you have your moments, but I actually want to have a life partner. but I'm still comfortable, very comfortable living by myself. I'm very comfortable making my own decisions. And so we'll just have to see what happens in life. And I say a prayer that I'm open.
Yeah, I think we all want to be at that place where we can be open to trust with, without the weight of our past. You know what I mean? Just to be free in it, to love freely, to have no big expectations other than to give my all and to just trust God and to trust my destiny. I think that's a place we all want to be. And you know, in relationships or work, like the more you have to try to date, I don't want to tell you my favorite color no more. Like I'm at an age now, like I don't want to keep. Now I feel like I'm going to here I am going to Amazon or somewhere for an interview, and you know, you just get tired of and coupled with me doing interviews for what I do, and you doing interviews on the other side, it becomes work, and it's a lot of talking. And sometimes I feel like I've been in relationships or meeting people and dating, and we're talking about a lot of nothing. It's just sometimes it's just like, is this really a connection, or are we just looking for just a moment just to be connected to the opposite sex and to feel that energy, but are we really present in that particular one? Or is it just okay, well, they were cute, they were nice, and the time was right to communicate? And so sometimes, you know, we'll do that. And next thing you know, you've invested into this moment, or that moment that you felt was beautiful, but your intentions were not to hurt anyone, but it wasn't never really that deep of a connection. But you stayed because it felt good and the person was nice. And so sometimes we end up in relationships 2, 3 years down the road. It's like, wow, I really didn't mean to take it this far, this long. And here I am. I've kind of silently committed to something and someone where I really knew I wasn't supposed to be. But that person is left to have to fend for themselves if you decide to leave. So I think we should really pay attention to who we're with, what our intentions are, what we see happening, and and sometimes it turns around and it becomes the best love of your life. But I think a lot of times we we stay around in things for fear of hurting someone, and end up hurting people on down the road. So relationships are a lot of work, but they're beautiful. I think love is beautiful. I think marriage is beautiful. Kids are beautiful. Although I don't want no more. I got plenty. Uh, but but you never know. With the right love, you mess around, have 16 babies or something.
Oh,
But you
that'd
have
be
to.
cool. That'd be like, oh my gosh. I was not, I got a car seat and I got I got bottles and oh Lord. Let's check into the let's check into the chat. We have Lynn, when you were speaking, Lynn James. She's an author and motivational speaker. And she says, thanks for being transparent. And she's checking in from Las Vegas, but she's originally from Los Angeles.
Okay.
And so City Don, when I was asking where he's from, so he's from Uganda. He's watching from Uganda.
From Uganda. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Okay.
City Don official, baby.
Okay. We got a lot of stuff going on in this chat box. Let's see. Christy McGee, she wants to know, what is your relationship status? And is there a special lady in your life? And if not, are you thinking about dating or marriage?
I'm thinking about it. Not marriage right now, but I do think about marriage. You know, I was married, 10 years. Um, she was a great wife. Um, and now, a great mother. We co-parent quite well. And, you know, I was at a place to where, I wasn't my best. I wasn't my best husband in that relationship toward the end. I think I was more into my work, and work carried on, and I became unfaithful. Just dealing with my own things. And, you know, I don't want to repeat that because she was, she was a good wife, a good woman, and to hurt someone with that type of commitment to you and dedication to your whole being, life, and past your life, you have to really think long and hard about that. So I don't want to get into something. I want to be right and be ready. So I've dated, date-ish, and all that, but it's a lot of work. It's easier to hang out with my kids and watch Fortnite and and all that stuff. So
Okay. And we have Terrell Patterson. He's checking in from Baltimore, and he says strong, transparent topic. And he says, sadly, most of the times it's not a true connection, but a presence that can fill the void of an absent space. So when you were speaking about, sometimes it lingers on, and it's like,
yeah.
oh, 2 or 3 years from now. And let's see.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Thanks, Terrell. And when you were speaking about, when we were talking about Willie Moore Jr. and your experience with adoption, Lisa checked in and she says how awesome it is to have a relationship with both your adopted parents and your birth parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You have a bigger family, because my adopted family, in the beginning there was tension. My biological family and my mom and all them, I guess she felt let down or betrayed. And it wasn't the easiest thing to decide to live with go through the course to live with another family. But at that moment, I think I needed that stability. And but she turned it around. And before she passed of cancer, maybe 6 years ago, we were good for, wow, 15 years or so. And my biological father and I, we're really close. I speak to him a lot, actually, for the last 14, 15 years. And he's doing really well. And it's good to have, and they all knew each other, so it's good to have that big extended family, because it takes the stress off of you feeling like you have to compete and to prove to both families that you still love them. And so when everything comes together and it's positive, man, you can levitate. You know what I mean? I could just sit here and just come up off the ground in happiness. So I applaud families who blend the two.
Okay. And so my parents were never married. And I remember on the holidays for Christmas, I would be with my mom for a couple of hours, then go to my daddy's side of the family's house. And so with your children now, how do you balance that with your adult children and your minor children? How do you balance the two families?
My house, my way, all the time. Christmas and Thanksgiving. No, actually, so my ex had moved back to Ohio, where she was from, just to get our identity back. Because, once if you, with a celebrity, people want to know, where is he? How's he doing? So she got tired of that. So she went and had time to heal and all that. So the kids would come for the holidays, because they were with her a lot of times in Ohio. So she needed the break. So now that she's back, we're close together. We'll do like Christmas, we'll do Thanksgiving at her house and Christmas at mine, or Christmas at her house and Thanksgiving at mine. Most Christmases were spent the last 10 years or so, pretty much have been with me in North Carolina. For whatever reason, I think that was just a time for her to relax. And the boys, that's the first home they grew up in, knowing Christmas. So it kind of has a different feeling. But now it's close. I mean, they can spend a half a day here, half a day. I just try to make it fair. And they're at the age now, like where you want to be. You want to be at mom's on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve at dad's, or, I try to make it peaceful. I think co-parenting should be peaceful, no matter what your relationship is with anyone else. If you have a child with someone, make it as healthy and peaceful as possible, because to try to punish, the man try to punish the woman or the woman try to punish the man, it's just toxic, and it's ego, and it has nothing to do with parenting, and it's a waste, and it's selfish, and it's some BS. And so, you know, I think that's something you should first work on, because you can't be in a healthy relationship with anyone else if you don't have a healthy relationship with your parent, the co-parenting partner, because you have that inside of you. You know it ain't right. The other side is not right, and your kids are not in a well balanced, you know, co-parenting relationship. So it seeps over.
Yeah, it does. I wonder, um, with my son, like I give him a healthy, nurturing environment, and he and we have a loving and healthy relationship, but he doesn't have that same type of relationship with his dad or with his dad's family. The majority of his family, he's in contact with some of his siblings.
Okay.
And so I just wonder when it's time for him to go out in the world and be in relationships and marriage and have children. It's like to be determined how his relationship or lack of with his father is going to impact him,
Mm.
And so that's just something that I kind of wonder about.
Yeah, it can affect a male, a young male in a positive way, to not be connected to his father if he was toxic, because he doesn't learn, because those are behaviors that he can learn as well, being abusive, being toxic, uh, and the things that you don't want to bring into a relationship. Or he can have a good, solid, healthy relationship that can benefit him. But I think it's being around love that's the most important. The fact that you love him and he has people that love him, I think that kind of it enters into a child, and it develops certain things in them that keeps them from wanting to be abusive, um, and dishonest, disloyal, and just being a negative presence. I think it keeps them. There's a stability that comes with love, whether it's from a woman or from a male. That part is the most important, because you can have both parents, and if their relationship isn't healthy, you're gonna be a bitter person anyway, having access to that. And I think those relationships that have both parents, I mean, the kids that have both parents, when they go bad, they go pretty bad, um, because I think you're so spoiled with having access to both parents that you just kind of like, ah, you take things for granted a lot easier, maybe.
See, I think opposite. I think that it's as long as the relationship, I thought you were going to say if it was an unhealthy relationship with both parents. So
Yeah,
if
that's what I'm. Yeah. If they were unhealthy at home with both parents, then it seemed like it's worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, and I know a lot of couples that choose to stay together, or they say they're staying together because of their children, but your children are smart and they see you not being affectionate with each other. They
Yeah.
see that you all don't go to family outings or dinners together, and you're always driving with the mama or with the daddy, and you're never in the car as a family together.
Mhm.
They pay attention to that. They're so that's just something to think about.
Yeah.
So we're still in COVID. Some places are opening, some states are opening back up, but we still have our cases, and it's to be determined what's going to happen this summer or this fall, and it's to be determined the impact of the vaccines. And so, in addition to, I mean, we all had to pivot, we all had to adjust. So, in addition to just career and social changes that we had to make. Have you been impacted any other way by COVID?
Yes. Actually, I had COVID, and I was hospitalized for 2 weeks. Um, and you know, it came, you know, as a big surprise to me because I'm very, I'm very much so a germaphobe, and you know, not unbalanced, but I don't like filth. And when it was time to wear my mask and sanitize and all that stuff, you know, I was on it. Um, so to have it and to be with this life threatening um, virus, it was scary. It was a scary moment. And my younger three kids ended up having it. They did very well. My brother ended up, you know, catching it because he had to watch them while I was in the hospital. So, you know, for people who think it's not really real, it's real. And you know, I'm a living witness. And, you know, still now, you know, we have little things that I feel in my body. Sometimes it's like, I know I hadn't felt that before. That's from having COVID. Um, I can't sit here and say that I'm in a rush to get a vaccine or that I will get a vaccine. I feel like I've been vaccinated already for having it. And I had the doctor said I had a large amount of the virus. And so it was really, you know, beating my body up pretty good. But I fought through it. My faith and my eating habits and taking the herbs and vitamins and all the minerals and stuff that we need that allow you to fight healthy, you know, a healthy fight. I made sure that I had access to that. Vitamin D3, lots of vitamin C, zinc, selenium, colloidal silvers. As you turn me back onto that, those things are very important in healing. Um, so, but I'm not telling people not to get the vaccine. I was like, you have to make a decision, educated decision on your own to take your health into your own hands and be vocal about what you don't understand about um, the virus, the vaccines, and find someone you can trust to really have that dialogue. So, you know, I lost weight. It took a lot of weight out on me. I'm getting it back now because I've been eating vegan ice cream.
I
So,
see it.
so on my face, you know, I mean, maybe a little bit here.
Yeah, that's why I see it. I see it right there.
I mean, it actually,
It still look nice though, but I can
yeah,
see your face is slim though. Your face is slimmer,
yeah, yeah.
but I
But
know sometimes
that
with your
that's
beard.
from, yeah, that's from back from that's old beers, but it's going there. It's going down. It's sexy when I put cocoa butter on it. But you know, just being in the hospital and having to really face being being in this place where you don't know if you're going to make it out or not. It's a real place that you can either make it out mentally or you could stress yourself out. There were moments when I felt like, okay, God, this is so crazy for me. Like, and you're watching everything on the TV in the hospital is just about COVID and the numbers and how many deaths. So it felt like 2 hours was like 2 days, just you know, laying there and having to deal with that. So people, please be careful. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And just sit down somewhere. You know, I'm still alive to speak about it, but it's not guaranteed to make it out. Uh,
Where I have a colleague. It was two colleagues. So I have one colleague that caught COVID and developed pneumonia, which affects your lungs. And then another colleague, I'm not sure what her symptoms were, but when she came back, we work together. But when she came back, she was transparent with me. She was like, I'm gonna let you know right now, I get brain fog. She was like, that's a side effect of
mm,
having COVID. And so I found myself having to remind her of conversations or in emails saying, per our conversation on this day, this is what is next. because for a little bit she had brain fog. Did you have any issues with that, or even just with your lungs or your vocal cords?
Yeah, I had pneumonia in my lower lungs, and so my back, I was, had pain in my lower back, and I was on oxygen. Started out on 8 liters, and there's this little breathing thing that they have in the hospital that I did every day, so I could strengthen my lungs. And laying on your stomach at night is called proning, which takes the weight off your lungs, and you're able to inhale more oxygen. So I learned a lot in there. But yeah, I had that. In terms of brain fog, I just felt disconnected in a way. Maybe it's kind of foggy thing, and I was afraid to drive because I felt like I wasn't able to really pay attention how I wanted to, and I was aware of it, but I was like, I'm not at my best. I don't feel like I should drive, so I didn't drive for 2 weeks or so after getting out of the hospital. Yeah. So you do kind of, there's this distant kind of feeling comes along with it, and I didn't lose my smell or my taste, thank God, because I ate pretty consistently the same thing. Um, I did salmon, baked potato, baked yam, and spinach almost every single day for lunch and dinner, and oatmeal, bananas and raisins every day for breakfast. So I think my food started to turn into medicine along with the herbs I took. There was a consistency in my body, and sometimes consistency, creates a machine, and sometimes that's what we need to get to the next level. But yeah, it's a weird place. I was really weak, so I got a lot of stairs to go up to my bedroom. So when I came home, I I remember sitting down on the stairs because my heart rate would go up. It affected my heart rate, and I would sit down on the stairs and go up 2 stairs, scoot up. And so once I got up there, I stayed for at least 7 days before I came back down, just to rest. So yeah, it's crazy. But I did while I was in there, I was like, "Man, my lungs, okay." And I started singing Charlene a little piece just to see. I didn't want nobody to hear it. It's like, woke up in the morning, found her that she wrote. She said she's tired, and I'm always on the road. Too hard to swallow. I did that. I said, okay, all right, God, I got a chance. Because I wanted to know, I know all the rest of that stuff. Okay, cool. Will I be able to sing? Because my lungs, and that gave me more faith.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you here, and
Thank you.
and Sharon Walker,
Hmm.
she said that death came for her, um, and from her family in COVID, and so wishing her the best as well.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so speaking of Charlene, Terrell Patterson, he has a question, and he wants to know, how did you get over that moment of hurt when you wrote the song Charlene?
You know, I think just knowing I made the right decision um, for the long haul, choosing music and not staying in a relationship that I felt maybe could have been that made me feel like I had to, you know, decide between the two. And at that moment, I was really into music, but I was in love, um, but I knew it wouldn't compete with the love I had for music. So I had to make a decision, and you get over the hurt by just believing in your decision, and it takes time, and laughing and finding ways to laugh and smile and communicating with the person a little bit. Kind of you resolve some of the things, the whys and how could you, and you know have to face you have to face the things that happen in your life. You have to face them sometimes, and have dialogue about it. It's healthy.
Okay. And we have Jaja checking in. Hello. She says, nice job. And
Oh,
Christy,
thank you.
Yeah, she says this is a bomb interview. It was so necessary to have both point of views on different topics. And thank you, Christy, for your kind words. And when you were speaking about when we were talking about relationships and kids, even though they may have grow up in a two-parent household, that that it's not all, if it's not healthy, it's not the best thing. And so Walter, he was just saying facts. And in his opinion, marriage and parenting are not mutually exclusive. Okay. And then of course Jimmy, he follows Dr. Sabi's methods, and he says in his opinion they will cure.
I believe that too.
Yes. So you mentioned D3, selenium, and zinc, and the silver. I also take K2.
Yeah, K2. Yeah.
I take K2, and then my 40 and over multivitamin that I just started taking. So that was a hard pill to swallow. Yeah.
You know what? You know they have the gel capsule old folks.
Whatever. And then old folks
and the jellies.
They take Centrum. You know, they just Centrum.
Man, that's Centrum. I don't even know tell her what's in Centrum.
Anyway, so once when I was a teenager, I've always been into supplements, and I took a Centrum and I put it in a glass of water. And the reason I'm looking over it because I have water right here, but I put it in a glass of water to see like when will it dissolve, and it just never fully dissolved in the glass of water.
So, that's what it's doing in your belly. It's sitting there, probably.
Right, actually, food that we eat. So think about a lot of the soul food and things. So your with your greens, like if you're cooking it with pork, for example, and you know how when it settles and it's kind of hard, that's how that stuff settles in your arteries as well. So
yeah. When you cook spaghetti or you cook certain meats, and like you said, the grease gets cold, and you sit it in. Okay, I'm gonna sit it in the sink, put some cold water in it, so it doesn't stick. But that grease, that same thing it's in your arteries. So we have to choose wisely what we eat, and
Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, and so before we sign off, I wanted to ask you your opinion about counseling. Would you, if you were to be in a committed relationship, and it doesn't necessarily have to be marriage, but would you be open to having some type of therapy or couples counseling with your partner?
Yeah, I'm open to it. Yeah. A bunch of talking, just yapping about it every time. Yeah, I think it's healthy. I think sometimes when you speak, you hear things that you wouldn't normally hear having dialogue with each other. When there's a mediator in the room, you kind of, you're forced to hear yourself, and it's not just this because you have to be accountable. So so you're paying attention to what you're saying, and I guess you feel like it's a safe place because she ain't gonna crack your head open in front of somebody, and you could be open. And I think there's a healthy dialogue that goes along with counseling. So I think I'm for it. I think
and what about prenuptial agreements? Are you for or against it?
It depends on the situation. I think there are some people who should do it, and I feel, and there's two ways I feel about it, because I didn't have one. I knew the person, I knew her spirit, I knew her character, like I really knew it. So I didn't feel any fear of her trying to take anything. I was willing to give anyway. And I still will if she ever needed anything. Because that's what, when you love someone, you don't just stop loving them because you're not married anymore. We're just friends now. But I never feared her to take anything, so I didn't feel the need to go through all that. I felt like it would put a curse on my relationship in a way. Maybe that's old-fashioned, but marriage sometimes is somewhat like a business. You invest in each other to get to another level, and to have to make a whole. And so if you're marrying someone that you feel like their half is still their half, and they're not completely giving their half to you to make it a whole, then you have to look at their character. And there's some relationships are just based on marriages that are based on looks, and the things, physical attraction and status. So those you might want to get some paperwork on.
Right. No, I'm not opposed to them. I don't see. I'm indifferent. Like it's either or, but I don't see anything wrong with it.
No, I mean, mine. It's mine. Mine. It's all mine.
And I just wanted to check in and acknowledge Rico. Rico is checking in. He definitely was supporting and liking the promotion leading up to this interview. So I just wanted to make sure that I did acknowledge him as well.
Thank you, Rico Crowley.
Yeah. And hi, Michael Jansmoon. He is the owner of, is it DC Vegan? DC Vegan, vegan restaurant in DC. So, hey, Michael.
Good stuff. It's helping the community. I love it. I love plant-based. I did vegan for 2 years and some change. So I still eat heavily plant-based. Maybe like 85 to 90% is plant-based. And then there's some fish. But I know keeping a really good balance and the least amount of fish is better for my body. So.
Hey, Jacint Wamala. Jacint, I previously interviewed her. She is a financial coach. And so she's a financial coach and a therapist for Black women. She's a licensed therapist, and she's in Las Vegas. And her story, one amazing thing that she did, I believe she paid off $90,000 in debt within 3 years. Yeah. So
she owed me, don't she?
Right. And Terrell, that was checking in. He's also a previous guest, and he wrote this book, Addicted to Lies, and he's out of Baltimore, Maryland. So I have a few, Lynn Jazane, she's a former guest on the show. So I have a few former guests checking in. And your girl Mary says, "Baby, you are gorgeous, sexy. I love you."
Thank you, Mary. Tell your sister Trina I said, hey. Look.
And And Carla from Virginia, she wants to know, what brand of vegan ice cream do you eat?
I have one. Let me look in here. Trader Joe's has one that's really good. So delicious. I like theirs. I used to do Tafudi, but I try to do the almond milk over any soy. So delicious. And the Trader Joe's brand is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And yep. Hey, Justin, and she says, okay, she's going to send you a check.
Okay, appreciate it.
And so before we close out, we're almost at time, and I know you probably have some other things to do. So what's next for you? You have your nonprofit organization, Taste.
Yes.
So what can we expect as far on the music end, and then maybe and then also tell us about Taste?
Well, music, I have a great body of work. That the album will be out this year. I think another single will be dropping maybe like April, May, and have some really nice guests. I did a song with John Legend. That's really, it's a beautiful song. I have one with Rick Ross. It's nice. It's like a 411, the Mary J. Blige 411. That feeling. It's just grown and sexy. Who else? I have Rhapsody. I did one with Rhapsody. So I'm doing all these songs and just try to get a great body of work. Have the album with Jermaine Dupri that has some really, that'll be out separate from the new album. And so working on 2 bodies of work. Have a song with Lil Twist, who's from Young Money. Little Twist. I did something with Corday. So I do a lot with these young rappers. I got a call. Well, I got hit up by Young Dolph and Dave East. So hopefully we'll get those songs done. I'm excited. I love hip hop. But Taste is a foundation that's been close to my heart. It's take a step to elevate, and it's meeting people where they are. And my first initiative is to help men deal with depression, mental illness, and help fix our men, and so they'll be better in society, in their own life and in society, and it'll help them be better parents and better lovers, and not just men, but the focus is on young boys and men to help heal us there. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot of work. We've been doing a lot of feeding. We did almost 100,000 pounds of food last year alone. So it's important.
Okay. And with Taste, with the initiative, is it going to be programming, or is it you're providing support to individuals who implement that type of programming? Like, how are you implementing that?
We'll do both. We'll seek organizations who already exist, and we'll help create organizations in certain areas to implement the things that are needed, and put the people in place to keep it going. I think it's important to have a team and more arms. You reach more with more arms. So if we can create new arms, fine. If we have to carry it all and do it all, we don't mind doing the work.
Okay. Well, I would like to be a part of that. I'm your barbershop connect, and
Okay.
And we got Las Vegas, we got Chicago, we got Baltimore.
Okay. And I'm a barber too, so I'm a barber by trade. I went to school to do men and women's hair. So I was in the shop. So I would have been the singing barber. Well, I was a singing barber for a while, and I still cut. So I have 6 sons, so I have to cut, hair the rest of my life. Them nappy head boys of mine. I love it.
No, that's fun. That's a new fact that a lot of people probably didn't know about you. So thanks for sharing that. Definitely, Dave East. That's one of my favorite artists. Yeah. Keisha. I like Keisha. I like Peter Pan. His song Peter Pan. Are you familiar with that one?
Nah, I may know it, but I may not know it by title.
Yeah, so Peter
Check that out, Peter Pan.
Yeah, you gotta listen to Peter Pan. So basically, Peter Pan is a story of an old dude that had it. He was an old hustler. He got locked up, came back out, and he never grew. So he's a man, but he never grew.
I love it.
And he's still hanging with the young guys on the street, and he's not selling the way he used to. And he's basically he's, like I said, he just never grew, and they don't respect him. And then Keisha. Yeah. So my son put me on to Dave East, so I'm a big Dave East fan. And our last comment for this evening, Latoya Watry from Las Vegas, my cousin. She says, You are very personable, Anthony, and she's enjoying this interview, and she loves your music.
Oh, thank you.
It's not my last one. Just sent, like I said, she's a mental health professional.
Okay.
And he's planning some stuff for mental health awareness and Minority Mental Health Month, which is in April.
Okay.
And Walter, a colleague of mine as well, he's in Wisconsin, and he is a mental health professional, and he's a counselor and life coach. And so, like I said, I got the whole connection. I'm your connect with communities and resources and stuff. So. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's discussion. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comments. This will be available on YouTube even after this interview. So please continue to like and share, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you next week. We have Tia, Brian, Deontay, and Marquella coming back, and we're talking about love and relationships. And then, of course, as always, I always have a good guest lineup. So everyone, Again, thank you so much for joining me. I am Shawnta Jackson, and my purpose in life is to help people to help themselves and others. And you can learn more about me at shawntajackson.com.
Thank you. It was great.
Yes, thanks. Oh, hi, Kimberly Patterson, Las Vegas, and she just bought a copy of my book as well. She says, great interview. All right, John. See you later.